I love that opening theme music. To me, it is as exciting as the old theme to Monday Night Football. Thanksgiving weekend had a great marathon run in AMC, American Movie Classics. Planet of the Apes. Every movie and every TV episode were played back to back that weekend, and I caught some of it here and there and loved it. As you may know, the original Planet of the Apes is my favorite movie of all time, and it is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year. But more on that in another video. What happened that weekend is I was talking to an old friend on the computer about the marathon, and he said that he first got into those movies while watching the 4:30 movie. Sometimes I hate talking about nostalgia and old times, but certain times I love it. I know many people love the 4:30 movie. Before there was videotapes and cable TV, there was the 4:30 movie. It was on Channel 7 ABC here right in New York. Every day from 4:30 p.m. until 6 p.m., which was an incredibly great time to watch a movie. Let's say you got home from school at 3:10. You changed out of your uniform or school clothes. You lied to your mother about not having any homework. You grabbed a snack, and especially if it was cold and nasty outside. You sat on the floor in the living room and watched the 4:30 movie for an hour and a half, just in time for dinner. Then after dinner, the screaming would start about how you left your homework to the last minute. Yeah, if you didn't have friends like me, you watched the 4:30 movie virtually every day. If you did have friends, you watched it during special weeks like Sci-Fi Week, Monster Week, Religious Week, and especially Planet of the Apes Week. During Sci-Fi Week, you might see the Omega Man or Soylent Green with Charlton Heston, or some obscure TV movie like Earth 2. In that one, the Polaroid commercials, Mariette Hartley drops her dress and reveals 2 belly buttons. That caused B-movie king John Saxon to look up in shock with very dramatic music. Oh, the destruction of the nuclear age. On Monster Week, you'd see Mothra, Yungari, Monster of the Deep, and Mechagodzilla. The original Godzilla belonged to Channel 9, so you had to settle for his lesser cousins. Remember Frankenstein Conquers the World? The heart of the original Frankenstein is transported from Germany to Hiroshima, Japan, and with the help of nuclear power, his cells regenerate until he grows into a new Frankenstein, only this time looking more like a caveman, and with the power to grow to the size of Godzilla. He wreaks havoc throughout Tokyo. Funny, but as kids we never thought to laugh at the utter ridiculousness of these movies. Religious Week was always around Easter and Passover, and you'd see togas and sandals in the robe, Ben-Hur and the agony and the ecstasy. Ben-Hur was too slow for me, so I never saw it until I was an adult. But you could always tell which movies Channel 7 thought were great and which ones were throwaways. Throwaways like Earth 2 were cut to ribbons, sometimes leaving the plot so mangled after you were done watching you still didn't know what you saw. To cut a 2-hour movie into 90 minutes for TV and then add commercials, you had to use both a chainsaw and an axe. But the great movies were shown in 2 parts, and these were silly too, because you were now spreading a 1-hour 45-minute movie over 3 hours. They'd compensate by showing you on the second day about a half hour of the film you just saw yesterday. Von Ryan's Express, Bridge over the River Kwai, and the 1966 movie of Batman was shown this way. It was silly and a lot of times irritating, but it was the only game in town, so you accepted it. And of course there was Planet of the Apes Week, which is when I first discovered the 4:30 movie and became a fan for several years. There are actually 2 Planet of the Apes Weeks, because since there were 5 films, and the first film was cut into 2 parts, and then Wednesday was almost always an after-school special, with Christy McNichol sometimes playing the blind sister of a retarded brother, you could only squeeze in 3 movies in a Planet of the Apes Week. And hooray, many of those times it was during Washington's birthday week, now called winter recess. Because we were on vacation, on that week you could watch the movies comfortably without dealing with your mother's homework questions and the guilt of lying. But Channel 7 didn't show them because I was watching them. They ran for 5 years because the ratings were very high those weeks. Not only that, but they had great buzz, or hype as they would say now. Kids in school excitedly telling their friends that they saw them advertised in next week's TV guide. You can't buy buzz. Holidays like Thanksgiving were always good, because you'd see some fun children's films like The Incredible Mr. Limpet with Don Knotts as a cartoon fish, or Gulliver's Travels, or even better, the original Flintstones movie, A Man Called Flintstone. But on Thanksgiving Day, November 26, 1981, the last broadcast of the 4:30 movie was shown, The Plymouth Adventure with Spencer Tracy. The next day was a college football game, and then that Monday, Channel 7 switched to their new schedule of the People's Court with Judge Wapner at 4:30 and the Eyewitness News at 5 p.m. Video didn't just kill the radio star, it also killed the 4:30 movie. Many people could afford these new VCRs. If you could find a place to rent tapes, why would you ever want to watch a bastardized version of your favorite film? Plus, to be honest, a lot of these movies were not your favorites anyway. Just the only thing that was on. I mean, if you went through the library of 4:30 movies, how many would you own or even watch again? Probably not a lot. But it did expose this budding young movie fan to some of his later favorites, like The French Connection and North to Alaska. Ciao from the Freditor.